Hello everyone, welcome back to Bridgemaster. This episode we should be clearing up the expert set of the A's, going from A-30, let me just double check this. A-30 through 36. Okay, we're in 6 no trump, opponent's silent, and they didn't really get a chance to bid, so we haven't learned much. Diamonds are the obvious focus point of the hand, right? If the suit... If the diamond suit is not 4-0, we easily have the contract, right? We can play the king, queen, and jack on the first 3 rounds, and then all the diamonds will be gone. The diamonds could be blocked, like we don't necessarily enjoy all of them, like the 9 might get in the way if we're not careful or something, but that doesn't matter. We don't need 4 diamond winners, even 3 would be plenty. So, we should turn our attention to the 4-0 diamond splits and figure out how to handle those while not jeopardizing our plan to make, in the case of non-4-0 splits. If East has 4, well, there is one easy line that works when East has 4, which is to lead low to the queen. Or indeed, you can probably just lay down the queen. If we knew ahead of time East had 4, we would just finesse the 10 by leading low to the 9. So we don't know that. We want to cash an honor, or play an honor from the north hand first, preserving the possibility to lead towards the king 9. So that works against East. Against West, no such trick will work. Instead, what we will have to do is make West win a trick at a time when all he can return is diamonds, right? So what that would mean would be leading the king of diamonds at some point. If he wins this and has to return a diamond, then it'll be away from the 10. We can win the 9 that way. If he ducks it, then we say, okay, well, you're only getting 1 diamond. I'll lead up to the queen jack after that. We definitely cannot lead the queen or jack if West has the 4 diamonds. So, because then he would just win it and the 10 would always be protected. So, okay, we have to play a queen or jack before the king in case East has the diamonds, and we can't lead it. Therefore, I think in either case, we can afford to lead up to the queen to scout out the diamond position. Great. Unsurprisingly, since it's much more interesting, West is the one who has 4. Now, we have to cash our winners in the other suits in such a way that West never feels comfortable hanging on to the ace of diamonds and a winner in some other suit. Right? If I, cashed the king of spades here, then no matter what tricks I started running, West would be able to hang on to the ace of diamonds and a spade. He could throw away all of his little diamonds. They would become idle at that point. So we need to cash first the suit that he is least likely to have spare winners in, which seems obviously to be clubs. And then we have to guess what suit we can run that he doesn't have any spare winners in after that. So ace, king... What did East pitch, by the way? I don't think it matters, but... Okay, he pitched a heart. And now another heart. Okay, East must have pitched a club. So West has started with 2 clubs and 4 diamonds. Therefore, 7 cards in the major suits. He's pitched 2 hearts. So only if he started with 6 hearts would it be wrong to cash hearts next. I don't think that's very likely. Now he's going to pitch a spade. Fine. But we know 3 of his remaining cards are diamonds, exactly. Because we saw East show out. We know he has no clubs and no hearts. His last card must be a spade. We extract that and lead the king of diamonds. He wins and has to return a diamond away from the 10. If we cash the side suits in any other order, I think we're in trouble. But, like, I think the idea, I don't know. You have to make sure to cash, to not ever give him a guaranteed winner outside of diamonds. Which means cashing his short suits first, so he has to commit to discarding something before we commit to cashing something. And then we have to read the hand correctly to figure out what he's out of, but it was not difficult in this case. Spade holding's interesting. I always get these wrong. There's also this issue of the club blockage. We might end up drawing trump and being in hand, but like out of trump because we get tapped too many times. And then the clubs could be, like dummies clubs could be in the way, stopping us from winning our own clubs. I'm not sure that's going to be an issue, but maybe. The most obvious thing is, like, how do you play this stupid spade suit? And as I've mentioned in some previous videos about Bridgemaster, I don't know. Suit combinations, I understand in theory, like, how to handle them, but, like, visualizing it, I just have a lot of trouble. So, most notably here, are you supposed to play low to the 8 or low to the 10? Do you try to finesse East for the 9 or not? Of spades, obviously, in case I didn't say the spade suit. But I guess there's also the question, do we duck this heart? Probably not. But maybe. I mean, cutting off transportation for them could be worth something, but probably not. I think they'd be thrilled to win a heart and then switch their attention to diamonds so they could tap me twice with diamonds. I don't know. Maybe. So finessing against the 9 works well if East has honor 9x, right? And that's about it. How does low to the 10 do in that situation? Actually, it doesn't even help if East has honor 9x, right? We play low to the 8, forcing West's honor. And then Ace Jack, we're still losing 2 of them to East, which is the worst we could possibly do in that situation. Unless there's some sort of issue with a trump promotion, maybe, when they play hearts and East then roughs, forcing me to rough too high. Or East leads hearts and West is roughing. I don't think that's going to happen. And low to the Jack or 10 is better when East has honor X, right? I guess it's the same in that case. Because we lose to an honor. Then we cash the ace, dropping East's honor. Then we cash our other honor, but we're still losing to the 9 on the West. So I'm having trouble finding a holding where it even matters what I do in spades. I know they're out there. What about honor doubleton in the West? Because there, if I finesse to West with the 10, I'm losing that honor, then I'm losing East's honor, then I'm losing the 9. Whereas if I put in the 8, West has to win an honor, but then I can play ace, then Jack losing to East's honor, then 10 beating the 9. So that works well if West has doubleton honor. If West has doubleton 9, I should play the Jack. But that's less likely than doubleton honor. So I think, okay, in any 3-3 position, it really does not matter what I do. I'll lose exactly 2 trumps. In a 4-2 position, it's twice as likely to be right to lead to play the Jack trick on the first spade trick rather than to play the 8. Okay, so I think that's how you play the spades in isolation. How are we for trump control? I win the ace, I lose a spade, I get tapped in diamonds. Well, hearts, probably. I get tapped in hearts. I've played 2 spades, and somebody who has 4 has played only 1. Then I play... Oh, no, sorry. I was saying it's better not to play the Jack, because I need to survive against honor doubleton offside. So load the 8, losing to an honor. Get tapped. I've played the 8 and the 6. Now I play ace and Jack, losing to East's doubleton honor. I get tapped again in hearts. My 10 draws East's last trump at the same time that I run out of spades myself. At which point, the clubs are good, but they're blocked. So I have to figure out how many clubs to cash and when to start pitching them on spades, basically. To get them out of the way. It seems as though I will never again have a chance to lead a club at all, right? Except for right now when I'm in dummy, because while dummy still has a spade. Because otherwise I'm spending a dummy, well, in some sense a hand entry. I'm giving up the chance to lead a spade if I cash a club. Because I'll be in dummy who has no spades, except on this one trick. And if I'm playing low to the 6, then ace, then Jack, I only have 2 pitches from dummy. So I think I need to cash 1 club, and I think it has to be now. Even though this risks some 4-1 club shenanigans, spades being 4-2 is much more likely, and I need to be prepared to deal with that, right? No, a ruff has occurred. I mean, which is fine. East ruffed with the king, but now it's a crossover, and East is going to get to ruff again. So something was wrong there. We needed somehow... Oh, maybe we can pitch the last heart while they're tapping me in hearts, but I don't think so. Because they can just switch to tapping me in diamonds if they want. Pitch the last club while they're tapping me in hearts, I meant. I mean, this is kind of the critical holding I was thinking of in spades. And it's showing me this layout, saying, look, you could have made it even with this layout. And I thought that would be tough. Like, the spades I can handle, I thought I might need the clubs 2-3 in that case. But apparently I can handle a 4-1 even. Do I just play ace of spades, spade? And when do I... Maybe this is why you're supposed to duck a heart? So that they don't have hearts to cross to each other? So what if you tried that? Uh-huh. But the club switch looks pretty scary, right? We're now just gonna... They're gonna get a club ruff or something. Or too many spades, yeah. I don't think we can afford to lead a heart ourselves now to cut off their transportation, right? For club ruffs? Huh. And we can't just like... We can't afford to spend time screwing around with like diamonds. Like lead a diamond pitching a heart. Lose it, choosing to lose a diamond now instead of a heart later so they don't have entries. You're just making your trump control problems even worse if you do that. So maybe there's some line where you don't have to pitch any clubs? Or catch any clubs? But I don't think so. I don't know. Maybe you can. I mean, ace... Jack... I guess so. You can pitch all of them when they tap. But why don't they tap you with a diamond instead? That's what I don't understand. We're making this now, but I don't see why. Couldn't they have just led a diamond and I would have to ruff and not pitch a club from dummy? I don't think it's that unintuitive, is it? I described how you should handle spades. Yeah. Right, Doubleton King. Doubleton Honor is twice as likely as Doubleton 9. That's what I said. West wins an honor and taps you with hearts. Trumps from the top, discarding clubs. Huh. I thought I wasn't leading spades enough times, but I guess I would be. And indeed was. I thought I needed to cash one club. I must have counted something wrong there. We're in 4 spades, opponent's silent. Definitely losing 2 hearts. Probably losing 1 diamond. So we need to avoid losing 2 then. This looks sort of like an elimination, right? Oh, this is kind of... Wait, is this interesting? Yeah. There's like a partial elimination here where... So, in order to fully eliminate the hand so that we can end, like, duck a diamond and have anybody... The ideal goal here, what you want to get to, is a position where you can duck a diamond and whoever wins it will be in trouble because, well, you can guarantee losing only 1 diamond that way. If you can do that when they can't return a heart or a club safely. Because if they return a diamond, you can play them for 4. And if If the diamonds aren't 4-1, well, that's fine. You just are only losing one no matter how you play the diamonds. So if they win and return a diamond, you play them for 4. Either they have 4 and you lose only 1 diamond, or they don't have 4 because the suit isn't 4-1, and again, you lose only 1 diamond. So to reach that position, you have to rough out the hearts and the clubs, but you're short entries to do all of that, right? You can get to dummy once with a diamond to lead a club to rough, say. But if you go to dummy again to rough the heart, and then when you duck a diamond, the opponent can just cash the other diamond. The king won't be there to threaten them. But you can enlist the opponent's help, make them eliminate one of the suits for you, by crossing to a diamond to rough a club, and now you exit a heart. They can't ever play clubs, or they'll be giving you a rough slough right away. And if they play diamonds, then again, they're giving up that suit. So they have to win this and return a heart and then another heart. But when they do that, they've eliminated the hearts for you. And now you can duck the diamond. West wins, but he has to either give you a rough slough or lead away from the queen of diamonds. So you win this with the jack, cross back to the king, and draw trump. It feels like there have been a lot of hands sort of like this, where we have like 3 top trump and 3 baby trump. And then there's this really appealing way to rough 3 times with the little ones, so you don't have to worry about losing them. I'm pretty sure we win this and rough a club straight away. And then we test hearts and see if we need to rough the rest of the clubs or what. And how many of other stuff we should cash first. I can figure that out later once I find out the trump are 4-1. Okay. They're 4-1. So, 2 questions here. 1, do we cash the last... Well, I guess I don't know how many questions. I know one question is, do I cash the last heart? And the other question is, what do I do? But you could really simplify that all to one question, which is, what do I do? We can be reasonably sure, I think, that West will be following suit as we rough clubs. Because he led the king of clubs. And you don't do that too often with king, queen, X against the slam, I don't think. Sometimes, but not that often. And anyway, we sort of need him to follow suit, because if he ever over-roughs, like, it's going to be sad times. Because we have a certain diamond loser. Yeah. We have a certain heart loser here, right? So we definitely need to win, to lose no non-trump tricks. Which means we can't lose this diamond, which can only happen if, like, West... I mean, obviously we are going to lose this diamond, but the idea is to lose it as, like, by having West rough it with his certain trump trick. So I think we need West to have... Well, we know he has 4 hearts. I think we need 3 spades, 4 clubs, 4, 3, 2, 4. Yeah, that's exactly 13 cards. I think we need exactly those things from him, but maybe we can be a little bit more flexible somehow by cashing a minor suit, like a side suit first. Like, what if West has... we definitely do need all 4 clubs and the 4 hearts. So we need 5 tricks in the other 5 cards in the other 2 suits. Well, I mean, that definitely does have to be 3 spades and 2 diamonds. The other way around is not going to work out. I don't think there's any harm in cashing the Queen of Hearts here. And I don't think it matters what order we use up our dummy entries in. Nor whether we cash out the spades before roughing the club. It looks like one of the most straightforward elopement plays that I've seen, right? You can do almost anything and you'll be fine. I must be wrong because we're on expert, but I think it's true. Is there some way we can survive him having a singleton diamond? Maybe that's what's happening. Oh. I got away with it? I'm not sure what happened there. Why did I get away with that? At the end, it seemed like West was going to kill us if he just roughed in, right? No, because he only had 1 heart. Right. If you rough in, I just don't play the King of Diamonds. And I can rough your return and cash the diamond. So I think I got this wrong kind of by accident. It feels more natural to go after spades before diamonds, but I didn't have a good justification for it. Why does Fred say it's good? Played a minor suit squeeze? Boy, I love squeezes, but does not seem very likely to me. Roughing club lights like the threat, yeah. West began with a certain trump trick. You... I mean, the squeeze is just so bad, right? It needs 1 defender to have 4 diamonds and 5 clubs. But, like, West led a club honor? It's just very unlikely. Plan to rough all your clubs. So West needs 3-4-2-4 or 3-4-1-5. I didn't really think enough about 3-4-1-5. I thought I was going to need him to follow suit to the second diamond, but because I accidentally played it carefully, I survived the singleton as well. 3 rounds of spades, rough. Ace of diamonds low. If West is out, he can try roughing. Yeah. I'm not quite sure whether I won this hand by blind luck or by just good habits and hygiene paying off. Because it just, like, looking at these hands and playing the, roughing clubs line, which seems like the obvious right thing to do, it seems like cashing spades first, it just feels safer, right? And you should surely cash the ace of diamonds before leading up to the king. And it turns out that it matters on this hand, even though I didn't think of this hand. Do I give myself credit for, like, playing the right things, or did I just luck into it? The jury's still out on that, I guess. Trump suit, very flimsy for a 5-level contract. We might lose only 1 trump if the suit is 2-2. That would be nice, wouldn't it? Then the contract would be so easy. We would make an overtrick. But of course, that won't be the way things are in Bridgemaster. How to handle the trump suit is obviously the primary consideration here. But we do also have to contend with the fact that there are 2 heart losers. Or, well, okay. We should view this hand from North's perspective, right? and say that there's one spade loser. The other one can be roughed. Well, one can be pitched on a club. The other one will probably have to be roughed. So we can deal with our losers, but we do have to deal with them. We can't just wish them away. And if trump are going to be 4-0, being able to rough the spade is actually a concern. West's 9 of diamonds sure looks like a singleton, right? People aren't leading 9 doubleton against this auction, right? I don't think so. So, at first glance, it seems that if trump are 3-1, we're going to have no trouble at all. Right? We'll lose a diamond to the ace. We'll cash the other diamond winner. And then we'll lose another diamond, and that'll be it. We'll still have a trump left to rough the spade. Trump are 2-2, it's even easier. If trump are 4-0, we have some thinking to do. However, before we look at trump 4-0, I think there is a potential issue if trump are 3-1 even, which is that the defense may be able to give West, to create some extra trump tricks by giving West a rough. Right? I think. Well, maybe not. I was thinking East could win the singleton ace of trump. And then lead a club for West to rough. But that's just West roughing with his natural trump trick, right? We're still just going to lose 2 diamonds that way. And the same is true if West has the singleton ace and East somehow has a rough coming with the 3-card trump suit. Which I think is quite unlikely, but okay, even if it were true, we'd be fine. So I think in any 3-1 trump suit position, we are fine. And the question is just how to handle the 4-0s. I think if East has 4, we're pretty much toast. Because the 4 that are missing are ace, jack, 10, 8, right? East can play the 8 when we lead low from dummy. I mean, I don't know. I guess we could maybe end play East still. Maybe we're not toast. What if West has all 4? It's easier then, right? You just play low to the king, losing to the ace. You lead up to the queen 9 twice. West has to split with the jack 10 once, and you win the queen. And then go up the next time. But then your 9 is sitting over his 8. And while you're doing that, you have to make sure you don't lose trump control so badly that you lose a spade trick. Because we need to... If West has 4, we need to play low to the king. Then we need to lead up with the 3 and the 4. But if West wins the jack on the 3rd round and concedes a trump, then we'll be out of diamonds to rough the spade with. And if we rough a spade too soon, then West can win a diamond and cash a spade. And we can't just cash the clubs to pitch dummy spade because West can profitably rough. What if we let a low diamond to the queen? Then Of course, anyone with 4-0, with the last... If West has the last four, they're the ace, jack, 10, and it looks like he's guaranteed to take 2 trump tricks. But maybe there's some end play? I don't think so, since West is short in clubs. That doesn't make sense. It makes sense against East, because we think East probably has 4 clubs and would have to follow suit while we play clubs. So that's why I think low to the king seems like a natural way to play the first trump. I mean, if East has ace-jack-10, we have some end plays going on, hopefully. If West has ace-jack-10... Well, sorry, ace-jack-10x. Ace-jack-10 remaining after we play the king. If West has that holding, he has to win the ace immediately and exit something. And then we have this issue of leading up to the 9 so many times. I guess what we do is we lead up, he splits, and we duck. That way, he can't kill me by leading a spade or by drawing trump. Then when I lead up again, I can take the last spade and only then draw the last trump. Or take the spade rough and only then draw the last trump. I think that makes sense. So, win, cross to a heart, diamond up to the king. Okay. Fine. We found East with 4 of them. We think he has 4 clubs, or maybe even 5 as well. We certainly need him to have several, so let's find out how many, I guess, by just cashing this, right? Right? I'm going to need to rough a heart to shorten the dummy, but that can happen now or later, so let's see what's going on in clubs. Okay, West has 2, East has 4. Well, West has at least 2, East has at most 4. But we're pretty sure West doesn't have more than 2. It was just whether he had 1 or 2 that we were interested in. We're going to need 1 spade rough, right? Yes. Let's take that now. I don't have a compelling reason. It just seems like a good idea. And we're going to need some heart roughs to shorten the dummy. Nope, doesn't work. I'm dead. Yeah, there's no hope anymore. East's remaining ace jack of diamonds are guaranteed to take 2 more tricks. So why do I not need a heart rough? Maybe let's back up and just test clubs first. Now we know East has 4 clubs. Okay. I mean, I could rough a club instead. And then instead of taking a heart rough in dummy, I can, instead of taking a spade pitch, I can rough the last spade? I'm not sure why that's better, but maybe it is. I mean, because East can't over rough, right? And we think he's not very likely to be able to rough this spade? But I'm not sure why that is. I guess it's just because this is only the 3rd spade. Okay. So East has ace-jack remaining and has to play the jack, or it has to give up a trick to the queen here. So, yeah, the issue, I guess, is that we need to play either a 3rd round of spades to rough it in dummy and rough a club in, rough it in hand to get rid of a loser, and rough a club in dummy to get rid of dummy's trump. Or we have to play a 3rd round of hearts and rough it in dummy to, and then use a 4th club to pitch the spade. Either way, we have to play 4 clubs. So we need East to have 4 of them, but we know he does. So we either need him to follow suit to a 3rd heart or a 3rd spade. Since we started with 4 spades and 6 hearts, it's obviously more likely he'll follow suit to the 3rd spade. That's why it was wrong to take the heart ruff. It seems like the natural way to shorten the north hand, but since it looked like, oh yeah, the club winner is going to get rid of the spade loser, which was true, but then I would have to ruff something that East might be able to over-ruff. Whereas if I want to make sure East can't over-ruff, the club is a surefire thing. And I can dispose of the spade loser more safely by just roughing it without having to risk the heart ruff. Cute. Actually, well, I'm interested. What about if, can I handle West having, look, it's even got a picture here of West having 4 diamonds. So I think yes, right? But we do have to make sure that we duck the second round, assuming he splits. If West has 4 diamonds, don't play the king. Yep. So you have to cross the ace and then lead up to the king. I agree. Don't cross in spades because spade forces. Okay, sure. Well, crossing hearts feels natural anyway, but I guess that's true. It doesn't mention how you should play the suit if West has all 4. Obviously, you have to play the king and then lead up to the queen-jack twice, but I think it is an important detail that I think you can't afford to actually cover when West plays the jack on the second round. The first time you lead up to the queen, you have to duck it so that you maintain trump tempo to ruff a spade with or not, as you to draw trump after roughing a spade. If you win the second diamond, West can control how many trump are drawn when. Okay, so if he says, lead a club, sure. Better chances to play clubs. I mean, I don't think clubs are 3-3, but more than one winning line. Rude. I screwed it up. Found a losing line. Okay. Fair enough. Anyway, next deal. Does that show up as... It still shows up as complete. Alright. Opponent's silent, but didn't really have a chance to bid. We're in 6 hearts. Well, the contract is very easy, unless hearts are 4-1. We can just play the elimination, right? They could also be 5-0, which would be a bigger problem. Right, we've seen hands like this where you draw trump, cash the spades, and then instead of taking a diamond finesse or guessing clubs, you just play ace of diamonds, queen of diamonds, and whoever wins has to either give you a rough sluff or play clubs for you. However, that would require a trump left in both hands. I kind of think the idea is probably to cash 2 hearts to find out how the suit is splitting. If it's 3-2, finish drawing trump and claim, using the elimination line. If the suit is 4-1, I think you probably do best to play like a partial elimination where, well, depends who has the 4th heart, actually. Maybe? I don't know. Well, anyway, you draw you draw only 2 hearts, and then you cash all the spades, getting them out of the way, and then ace of diamonds, diamond. Whoever's on lead, hopefully, they might not have a heart to lead. in which case they'll be end played as before. And if they do have a heart to lead, well, you can always fall back on trying to get the clubs right. But is that really better than just taking the diamond finesse first? I think so. Because the diamond finesse requires West to have the king, a 50-50 chance. Playing 2 rounds of trump and then all the spades. And then ace of diamonds, diamond. That gives you the end play if the person with the king of diamonds is short in hearts, which is also 50-50, maybe a little better. Actually, that doesn't seem much better, really. And it adds this extra risk that someone might ruff the second or third round of spades. There's no minor suit squeeze. Or is there? Because if the same player has the king of diamonds and the long clubs, they will be end played into leading one of them. And you can test the clubs before you go after that, right? In fact, well, I think we want to win this and lead 2 rounds of trump. Get the bad news. Now at least I know which opponent has 4 hearts. It's East. Okay. I thought that might matter somehow. And it kind of does, I think. Huh. If I lead spades, it's all too likely East just roughs. And then, I look stupid. Why did I let him rough a winner? The hand's going to be hopeless after that. But what else am I supposed to do? I could take the diamond finesse, and then, if that loses, try to solve clubs, but there's got to be some line that is more likely than just one of 2 finesses. I could draw trump. Because I don't think I really need trumps left in both hands to end play somebody, right? There's the stoppers in clubs and diamonds are vulnerable enough that they should still be end played. A normal no trump strip squeeze should work fine. So let's cash these, getting the spades out of West's hand and the possibility of roughing out of East's range. Okay, so West has pitched 3 spades. We've therefore seen 7 of them, and we have 4. 7? Yes. 4 were played on the first spade trick. West has pitched 3 more. We've seen 7. There are 4 here. 2 remain. I can cash the spades and be confident that no player is ever going to be able to lead a spade. And I guess now, yeah. If I can guarantee the contract here. Unless East, even if East has 5 clubs. We play the ace of clubs. All follow. And it looks like we have guessing clubs, right? If West has 4, I should cash the queen and then finesse the jack. If East has 4, I should cash the king and then finesse the jack. But if East has 4, then I don't have to find the jack. I can end play him by exiting with the jack at the end of all this, and he'll have to lead a diamond for me into the ace-queen. So we play the queen. This way, if West has 4, we can take the finesse, and if East has 4, we can take the end play. We're safe either way. What if East had 5, so that he could exit with another club after I lose a club to him? Well, in that case, West would have shown out on this trick, and I could easily change my mind and finesse him. So, unlucky, we got the clubs wrong, but not actually unlucky at all, because it was all 100% guaranteed. Yeah, it took me too long to realize that I didn't need any trumps lying around to, like, when you make an elimination play at a trump contract, usually you're short enough in the other suits that you're sort of worried about somebody cashing some of them, right? I don't quite know why East was so polite, West was so polite in discarding all the spades so that I could see everyone was out. But it was going to be fine since I could prove East was out by cashing. When I cashed the king, East would fail to follow suit, right? So I guess West didn't really give me any information I didn't already have or wasn't about to get. We would cash the spades to get a count on that suit, and then hopefully play on clubs to end play East. If East has 4, 4, 1, 4, then we're in a bit of trouble, right? Because he can hang on to a spade winner. And when I try to finesse, when I try to end play him with clubs, he won't have to lead a diamond. He'll still have a spade. But that's rather unlikely, right? That would give West 8 diamonds. Like, probably that just doesn't happen. Let's see what Fred has to say. Draw all the trump. Whoops. Contract is virtually certain. Play spades, East discards on the second round. Yeah, okay, so this is the whole thing I did. If East happens to turn up with 4 clubs, unlikely as I mentioned, but yeah, sure. So he says virtually certain. I think the issue is indeed, what if West has 8 diamonds? We could be in some trouble then. The funny thing is, if West does have 8 diamonds, the contract is guaranteed, but only if you can see through the backs of the cards. Because if East singleton diamond is the king, you should play the ace, and if it's not the king, the finesse will work. In real life, we are taking the finesse. Because if West has 8 diamonds and East has 1, which hand do you think the king is more likely to be in? There's only one way to have a singleton king. There's 8 ways to have some other singleton. So the king being over here is way, way, way more likely. If East happens to be 4, 4, 1, 4. Okay, anyway, I was too focused on having trump left for the elimination, which you usually want to have when you're like in a trump suit elimination, but the stoppers were vulnerable enough that we could do a no trump strip squeeze. Now, we have Oh, I just had a flashback to like when I did this last like 8 years ago or whatever. It looks very much like the contract is secure, right? Assuming this club doesn't get roughed on the way back. We have enough spades that we have like 6 opposite 2, right? We have 8 of them, so there are only 5 outstanding. As long as nobody has 5 spades or 8 hearts, we should be fine. We can lead a low heart up to the jack just in case, and then play a heart to the ace, heart ruff. How do we get back to hand, though? Oh, maybe this isn't so straightforward. Anyway, my recollection is that the spades rather, are going to turn out to be 5-0. East is going to have 5 of them. You like cash the jack of spades as a just in case, and then you're like, oh wait, I have to change my plans. I somehow just like that came into my head as a thing that I remember happening many years ago. We definitely don't want to cash the ace and then ruff with the jack. That would be a safer ruff, but it makes our chances in the trump suit much worse. If East does... Well, okay, so if Trump are 5-0 and West has 5, we're just going to go down. There's no way I'm going to finesse against the 10 on the first round, right? And if I tried in Bridgemaster, it wouldn't work. So if West has 5, we're going to go down. What can we do if East has 5? The obvious answer is, like, try for a trump coup. Ruff some cards with these little ones so you can later lead something from dummy. And force East to choose whether to ruff high or low. Don't give him the chance to not ruff. And then you can over ruff appropriately. The only issue with that is how do you get back to hand after ruffing the heart? Oh! The point is you can't do that, right? If the spades are 5-0, you can't ruff a heart. You need to lead the 6 to finesse. And then you need another finesse even after that. So where is the heart loser going? Diamonds could be 2-2. That would be nice. But... Well, wait, actually, where is it going? We need... We need to cash all of our tricks with East not ruffing. And then lead something off dummy. While ruffing one thing ourselves as well, of course. And then lead something off dummy that East has to ruff and then we over ruff. But if I'm doing that, how am I getting rid of my 2 of hearts? I can't ruff it, right? Because that takes away one of the things I need to trump finesse. Maybe I can. Maybe I can take one trump finesse. I mean, okay. Every trump finesse we take could just be shortening, right? Ruff something. Okay, yeah. The spades are breaking badly. No surprise there. I think the only sensible thing to do here is ruff a club. East follows. And I guess we do ruff a... Wait, is this the only sensible thing to do? Why not ruff a spade? Lead a spade and finesse. Because this is just as good. That's what I was literally just saying. Is roughing something is basically just as good as finessing East once, right? So I need East to follow. Okay, we know East has 5 spades, or started with 5 spades. I'm pretty sure we have to rough this heart, because we're not getting rid of it any other damn way. So we need him to have 3 hearts. We need him to have 2 diamonds. And he's already shown up with 3 clubs. And that's all 13 cards, right? 5, 3, 2, 3. I think that's the shape we need from him. So at this point, you know, we just have to make sure to rough a heart before we cash the last diamond. I don't know. I feel like this hand sort of plays itself, except I went down, so I'm bad. What did I get wrong here? Why don't I need him to have a second diamond? Huh. Okay, show me an example layout and let me think about how I could have beaten it. Oh, wait a minute. So the whole Trump coup maybe is just sort of silly. Yeah, I mentioned earlier, I was like, well, now that I know spades are 5-0, I can't rough. And then I said, wait a minute, roughing in hand is just as good as finessing East. But it isn't, actually. Because then East still has trumps left. Which is good if you're just trying to trump coup and you assume that all of your other winners, side suit winners will hold. But in a position like this, actually, like, what are you supposed to do here? I thought maybe you could, like, you can win the spade and finesse a spade, and then you can just draw all the trump. Now you have a heart loser to deal with somehow. And the only place to put it is on diamonds. But how do you do that? You don't really have a squeeze against West. He's the only one guarding diamonds, but they both guard clubs. Well, I don't even have a club threat. Forget that. Oh, wait. I do if I don't rough a club back to hand to shorten, I guess. Ah. So in a layout like this, you play a double squeeze around hearts? Because you assume that from West's lead he has Queen Jack 10, and therefore he's the only one guarding the club threat? Let's try this again. The only line I saw was the Trump coup needing East to follow to all your side suit winners and the heart ruff, which I think is a possible line. It just needs East to be 5, 3, 2, 3 specifically. But I guess that is asking sort of a lot. So you could play for the squeeze instead, I guess. And the double squeeze is very easy to play. It's a type B2 double squeeze, the type where you just like cash anything you want as long as you don't cash hearts. And don't throw away that club. Now we see if the diamonds are winners, but presumably they won't be. The club's not a winner either. Wait. I just realized I saw the opponent's hands and thought about how to play it, but then I thought the wrong thing. If West is the only one guarding diamonds, and the only one guarding clubs, well, then we shouldn't do a double squeeze around hearts, you silly. You should do a club diamond simple squeeze. Forget the hearts. So we cross over here. It doesn't live, or East has all 5. So we take this finesse instead. We cash all these. West's pitched a bunch of hearts at this point. But we still believe that West has both of the outstanding clubs that can beat the 9. So he has to pitch one of them here, and then the other one here. Yeah, so okay, if you assume that West's lead of the queen jack, of the queen, tends to suggest the jack and 10, which I'm not so sure of, but okay. And you imagine that East holding 5, well, West holding 0 spades probably doesn't also have only 1 diamond. Then you can squeeze him in the minors. Still, I'm not sure I'm 100% on board with playing West for queen and jack and 10 of clubs. What if that doesn't pan out? Like, East's return of the 2 kind of looks like he might have the 10. But, I don't know. You don't like to lead queen jack if you don't have the 10, I guess. What does Fred have to say? East returns a club. Can rough your heart, but you might as well cash the jack. Oh no, so now you have to finesse. Whenever diamonds are splitting, or... Oh, that's true. I guess you can also make it just if diamonds split. In addition to whenever West has lengthened diamonds and the remaining club honors. He doesn't even mention the other line of a trump coup, which sort of surprises me. I don't think it's crazy unlikely for East to have 2 diamonds. Right? His real hand is only 1 card off. You know what, though? At trick 2, East returned the 2 of clubs. If we assume the defenders are signaling honestly, that suggests an original holding of 4 clubs, not 3. With 3 clubs, and therefore 2 remaining, you would lead the higher of 2 remaining. Of course, you can't, 100% accept defensive signals as gospel when you're declarer. But they don't always know when it's important to tell the truth to their partner or versus when it's important to mislead you. So their signals are certainly something worth considering. So, yeah, that sort of suggests that East doesn't have only 3 clubs. If he has 4, then there's really no way you can play a trump coup at all. And also, if he does have 4 clubs, then he's pretty unlikely to have 3 diamonds. So either the suit is 2-2 or West is squeezable, assuming that West has queen jack 10 of clubs, which is, not guaranteed, but somewhat likely. Anyway, we did it. We made it through the A's of Bridgemaster Expert Problems. Hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.